Hello everyone. Let's start the last topic of computational learning theory, which is mistake bound model of learning. So till now we have bounded the total number of training examples, but now here we have to bound the number of mistakes it's made before it learns the system successfully. Here we consider the total number of mistakes the learner make before it learns the correct hypothesis. So here we evaluated the learner by the number of mistakes it's make. So basically we have to provide the number of training example to the learner. Learner must predict the target value Cx before it is shown the correct target value by the trainer. Here we check how many mistakes it makes in its predictions before it learns the target concept. Now learning the target concept exactly means to converge to a hypothesis such that for all number of instances our hypothesis output is equals to our target value. Now let's start learning a mistake bound model for Finder's algorithm, which we have studied in previous chapters. So in Finder's algorithm, what we did, we start with the most specific hypothesis, and we step by step incrementally we are going to generalize our hypothesis to get a more generalized hypothesis in last. So just go through the notes. I have mentioned the algorithm there. So in Finder's algorithm, first we have initialized our hypothesis to a most specific hypothesis, and in which we have include all the attributes with their negations also, and describe it as a conjunction of literals and their negation. So for each positive training example X, we have to check our hypothesis, specific hypothesis, and remove the literal that doesn't satisfy it by the hypothesis. So we have to repeat this for number of training examples, and finally we will give the output a very general hypothesis. So in Finder's algorithm we have some assumptions also. First one, that it converges to a hypothesis that makes no error provided that our target class is a subset of your hypothesis space, and also provided the training data is noise free. So here, to bound the mistake of Finder's will make the total number of mistake it will make is n plus 1. So if n is the total number of instances, so the total number of mistakes it can be done is n plus 1. Let's move towards the explanation of Finder's algorithm. So how will come out the output that total number of mistake it will make is n plus 1 at most. So we have started with most specific hypothesis and check our each training example. So if our first training example, if it misclassify the first training example, so it will remove the literals which will not satisfy it. It means if it misclassify, if the hypothesis misclassify the first training example, so it removes the number of literals that classify it properly. It means it removes half of the literals from the hypothesis. Then when we move towards the next training example, it is not sure whether it classify it properly or misclassify it, because half of the literals are already removed when we try to classify the first training example. That is the reason, that's why it is showing that at most the number of mistake it makes is n plus 1. To cover the algorithm, halving algorithm. So this is a mistake bound for halving algorithm. So halving algorithm includes the candidate elimination algorithm and list and then algorithm. So here the learner make prediction using voting system by hypothesis in the version space. So basically halving algorithm will go for the voting system, and among all the hypotheses it will check the majority of hypothesis, the result of the majority of hypothesis, and go for the prediction as the majority of hypothesis says. If majority confirms positive, then learner predict as positive, otherwise it predict as negative. That's why it is called as halving algorithm. So halving algorithm can make mistake if majority of hypothesis in version space incorrectly classify the new instance. Current version space becomes at most half once the correct classification is revealed to the learner. So the total number of mistakes this halving algorithm can make is the log base 2 the size of the hypothesis space. The next one is the optimal mistake bound. So by the optimal mistake bound, we mean the lowest worst case mistake bound over all the possible learning algorithm. So this is a very good mistake bound algorithm. Here we will take number of algorithms and we will check the mistakes all the algorithm will make, and select the algorithm which has the lowest worst case mistake bound over the all possible learning algorithms. So let's take a let's see the definition. Let C be any arbitrary non-empty concept class. The optimal mistake bound for C, denoted by OPTC, is minimum over all the possible learning algorithms. So here the formulation is also given over there. So it will take all the learning algorithm and find out the learning algorithm which will provide the minimum mistake bound. So here we see the relationship among the optimal mistake bound and halving algorithm, and this is VC dimension of C. So basically by little stone they shows that for any class C, VC, your VC dimension of C is always less than or equals to your optimal mistake bound of C, which is always less than equals to M halving, and M halving, you know that it is less than or equal to log base 2 of C. Okay, the last algorithm for a mistake bound is weighted majority algorithm. So basically it is the generalization of halving algorithm. In halving algorithm, what we see that we have a version space, and among the version space we have number of hypotheses, and we check the hypothesis, output of the hypothesis, majority output of the hypothesis. If the majority of hypothesis says the prediction is positive, then the output is positive, and if it says negative, then the output is negative. So here what we did, we have to provide a weights to all the hypotheses. So that's why it is said to be weighted majority algorithm. So there are basically two properties. It is able to accommodate inconsistent training data, as it does not eliminate inconsistent hypothesis but rather reduces its weight. So, the second property over here is we can bound the number of mistakes made in terms of number of mistakes committed by the best of the pool prediction. Let's see how it works. So for all I, initialize Wi as 1. So for all the hypotheses we have to initialize the weight as 1. So for each training example we have to cover up all the training examples, even positive and negative both. So initialize Q0 and Q1 to 0. So here what they did, for each prediction algorithm AI, they check the value of that particular prediction. If it is 0, they will update the weight by Q0 plus Wi and assign to Q0. And secondly, if the algorithm predict 1, then again they update the weight and assign to Q1. So we will check among these two, Q0 and Q1, we will check which prediction is greater. So if Q1 is greater, then predict Cx equals to 1, and if Q0 is greater than Q1, then we predict that the target value is 0, and if both Q1 and Q0 both are equal, then we predict 0 or 1 randomly for our target value. So for each prediction algorithm AI in A, what we do if AIX is not equals to Cx, then we have to update the weight by multiplying it with a constant beta, and this beta value always lie between 0 and 1. So what is this Q1 and Q0? As we have already discussed that in case of this weighted majority algorithm, we predict the pool prediction. We can bound the number of mistakes made in terms of number of mistakes committed by the best of the pool predictions. So here we have two pools, Q0 and Q1. Among these two pools we have to check which one which one's prediction is the best. Accordingly we will choose the best one.